We fixed our typos. We are all set up. Welcome to the match between Josh, I guess that's Butro. Is it Butro? I'm guessing it's Butro. And Frantic32. Having no time to prepare notes for this match, I can tell you that Frantic won his first match with a 37.06 and lost his second with a 51, so we have a wide disparity of times. Hopefully Frantic has a good race today. Those are his only two. Josh had only one race, and it was a loss against Yuna Kitten. He had a 53. Hopefully he has improved his time since then, since Frantic is capable of the sub 40 hype, and they have just both readied up and the race has begun. So we are in Twitch delay already as we speak. Best of luck to both of the runners. And today, because Josh had to link up, I'm watching this one on Khadgar. Frantic starting with the -2 on his timer for SDA timing. Josh going straight up with SRL timing. So keep that in mind as you're comparing the timers. And here we go. Let's see. I have to believe this is because of a little bit of delay between the two streams that Frantic looks slightly ahead. Josh breaks the midway tape. Frantic goes for the vine. He wants the swag. Either way, a pretty uneventful YI2 for both players. We have 360s on both sides. So yeah, let's race. We're on to YI3. See how many box jumps we get out of this. And they both look good so far. Oh, Josh looked back and he missed a jump. It looked like it was off one of the later platforms. He just ran right off the ledge. Trying to go back and forth. Josh opting to take the safe path this second time through. No shame in making that attempt. Always go for the trick if you can do it in a race like this. It's always good to test yourself. If you get it, you get it, and if you don't, just do what you can do. Gaining P-speed there can be a little awkward just because of the Cooper spawnings and where you do actually gain it. See if he gets it. He does not go for P-speed on the yellow blocks. Frantic, meanwhile, on to YI4. Jumping far over the first spike ball. Doesn't even touch the shell at all. Takes the non-author blues route, goes for awesome block and makes it. Alright, so Frantic appears to have about a YI4 lead on Josh. Mario poses at 218 on the right. So Josh is 220. Just keep in mind those 2 seconds of differential. I'm not sure how Josh still has that mushroom after that jump. Frantic, meanwhile, handling Iggy's castle pretty well. Little fence trouble there, but nothing major. Going for the coins. Mario appeared to pose at about 250, so that's about a 30-second lead for Frantic. Josh stomping some Koopas over there. Nice. But opts to climb up and over everything to keep that mushroom. Right, Frantic up to Iggy, going for a little bit of the slide strat. About a 3:18 for the whistle, so 3:20 race time. I'm usually through like 3:16, 3:17 or so we'll take that. He split early. That's why you see that 3:17 up there. Egg dropped at 3:33 because I like numbers that are multiples of 11. Let's see. I would expect Frantic to have gained another 3 or 4 seconds from taking the early part of the level at P speed. another 1 second as it works out. We assume an exact 30-second lead after YI4. Egg drop on the... Oh no, well, 3 seconds because of the -2. Now I'm confusing myself with where that extra time goes. I might have actually gained a second. A clean Donut Plains 1 from Frantic, nothing going on here. Josh has to regain his P-speed, but is up in flight. He lands on the clouds because it's not a bad idea. If you take off from the ground level and you can see you're going to land on those clouds, don't fight it sometimes, just accept it. You can take off a lot faster, it's a lot less risky than trying to stay over it. Of course, it is also slower. Frantic with a good shell grab. Josh not quite getting up to the top. And he just goes back and flies right over the pipe. Good man. Frantic grabbing the P-switch. I should really start grabbing that P-switch. Josh taking the top route through the early part of the stage. I'm not sure he knows that you can use down to swim. Josh not even going for the pipe at all. It's not a bad idea, because if you can't grab that shell cleanly, it is actually faster to just go through the level. Despite the fact your timer might be a little faster, you have to remember screen transitions factor into that calculation. Josh getting below the level as Frantic wraps up the Donut Ghost House regular exit. Donut Ghost House, of course, a very simple level to just cape over, so there's not much to really talk about there. Donut Plains 3, we'll get to see if Frantic's going to go for the fast takeoff. I don't know Josh's PV. Frantic, I can see his splits show a 3703. Frantic, as you just saw, opted to double back to the left at the start to take off, not going for the quick takeoff. Probably not a bad idea given his lead. Josh is taking an interesting path through that first room of Donut Ghost House. And goes very far up the stairs before turning back. He's using what strats work for him though, and that's good. Better to take a few seconds here and a few seconds there and just lie in wait for the mistake from the other player than to go for something you're not good at doing and lose even more time. And then the room is in a very awkward position sometimes. You just can't deal with it from there. Josh also doubles back. I would expect that from those high times he's been posting so far. Just gets over that block. That block can stop your fly, and sometimes trying to move back to the right from there is iffy. Frantic is flying just above the clouds, just like he should in YI4. Josh is flying a little high in Donut Plains 3. He's dropping down now, though. I was worried he might be in danger of flying over the goal. He dropped down. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. See, the chat is hype. The chat is filling up quickly. It's alright, Proto. I firmly believe everybody has a right to have their race broadcasted if at all possible. It's just the right thing to do. Frantic, going for Morton Fly. Josh lands on the clouds in Donut Plains 4 and has to recover. And I don't know what I had stacked up, but something large just fell over. That's interesting. I might have to go upstairs and check on that very soon. Rezi, if you can get in TeamSpeak, I need some backup right now. Frantic doubling back for the flower. Frantic also doesn't get the spring. Does otherwise get up as fast as he can. A little distracted by the loud noises, so we have a split at 8:28 there. Josh entering the level 5 seconds after it is completed by his opponent. Interesting setup here from Josh, but he gets there. That was a super safe setup, walking underneath the thwimp, waiting for the other one to land. But he's up, and that's really all you can ask for. So oh, he turns back way too soon. So, for those not familiar with the vertical fly stages and keeping P-speed, I'm sure there are some people in chat, like a Weitzman, that can explain this better. But my simple explanation is that you need to have horizontal momentum when you hit the ground, or you will lose P-speed, you will not make it up, and what you saw happen to Josh will happen. That goes for Morton's Castle as well as Vanilla Secret 1. Frantic, I think he had it, and he just let go of the spin jump button. He might have not had a takeoff meter that was ready to go, but I'm not sure what happened there. Josh is working on jumping up those blocks. He's come up here a little slow, so he's going to have to wait another cycle. But if you watch Frantic, you'll see he will come back with speed every time he wants to take off again. Ooh. Oh, no! Let's see what he does. He got hit, actually, by the shell he kicked. Moments like that, they happen to all of us. You just have to hope he doesn't get frazzled by that. The important thing there, that's one of the reasons you should always kick a shell up if you can. Because then, even if you hit it again, you'll just kick it. You have a much more time to get out of its way. In this situation, he's doing exactly what he should do. Go right back into Vanilla Secret 1 to go get a cape. Meanwhile, we completely missed Josh killing Morton. Morton's gotten bopped at about 10:30, so he's about 2 levels behind at this point. If you can, Rezi. Or anybody, really. Either way, Frantic is onto the flyover levels, while Josh still has to deal with Vanilla Dome underground section. I did not look, but I'm assuming both players are on English cart. Josh probably smartly jumping there, just in case that beetle shell came back for him. And he clipped into, well, he didn't clip for so much as bump into that pipe. Oh. This fly can be a little difficult. It's not that hard, really, but there is a timing to it, and he gets it on the 3rd try. Good show by Josh. Frantic has flown through Vanilla Secret 2. Did not get a final time, so I do not know if it was fast fly or not. Josh into Vanilla Secret 1. It takes a little way to run out off to the side there, and then falls all the way back down. It almost would have been kind of okay if you get that first fly, because you still save some time by doing that, even if you take the vines afterwards. He's going to go up. He's not taking a shell either. I like what Josh did there. That looked intentional, moving the spring over one tile just to fit through that gap. When the turtles are all the way to the left, you can squeeze through that ledge. It's, well, the one tile there. It can be difficult, though. The backup cape in Vanilla Dome 1. That's a question in chat right now. Look, make sure Josh does not get the initial takeoff, but he's just going to clear it out and go. Losing a cape in Vanilla Dome 1. If you're on the US cart, know where Freedom Cape is. Always know where Freedom Cape is. Your only other options are to have brought in a Yoshi from Yoshi's Island 4, which I do not recommend. I recommend all players learn the backup fly strats and know how to get up there with the cape no matter what. The only other option is really to just kill yourself and go back to Donut Plains 1. Ooh. Frantic, please. Getting the... let's call that a somewhat quick kill on Reznor. That 4th buoy giving him a little bit of trouble. So, Josh is onto the auto... No, Josh is in Vanilla Secret 3. Frantic is in Butterbridge, the long auto-scroller. Frantic going for the fly. I think I've only seen Virus and Joss go for this so far. The fly through the Butterbridge makes it interesting. I personally don't really recommend it. the trick is you have to keep going up because the screen will scroll up. And if you ever land, you have to be ready to jump and do whatever you have to do. So this is very dangerous. He's right there above the Koopas, and he's over land again. If he got cape canceled over the red blocks, that's pretty much a death. There's no way out of that unless he somehow also gets the stomp. I don't think he can do once he gets cape canceled. Josh, I think, still doesn't know that you can hold down to take a very small swim. He's gonna duck under this and probably cape kill the 2 dry enemies, and he gets bopped by the spikes. He's just gonna go for it now. One recommendation, well, obviously my recommendation is learn to swim by holding down. Just get used to it. It takes a little bit of practice, but once you get the timing down, it makes these water levels significantly easier. Failing that in this level, your next best strat as a newbie is to hold R and do the R scroll. That will trigger the spikes to fall down a little bit earlier, so they will fall down before you have to deal with them yourself, which just makes things a little easier. And at first, when you're learning a game, that's what it's all about. Just make it easy. You can learn the hard strats once you get a better handle on the game. Meanwhile, the auto-scroller finally ends for Frantic. He knows to just push X to bop the Super Koopa, or otherwise just push the cape spin. So both players now on the bridges. Josh about 2 minutes behind at this point, based solely on the fact that Butter Bridge 1 in its entirety is between them. Neither player in any kind of life trouble though, so that's always good. It's always good to see that both players are executing on the strats they know. Butter Bridge 1, as dangerous as it is to fly over it, trying to go through it without a cape can be just as heart attack inducing sometimes. Frantic, meanwhile, in room 2 of Ludwig's, doing the spin fly strat. He's gonna try and fly underneath the Pottabos, and I think he's got it. Good job, and he taps left again to go back up to a fast fly speed. It is possible to go underneath them all at full speed, but you have to be very low, and it's very dangerous. Taking it a little slower, it won't get you a PB anytime soon, but it will get you through the room safely. Meanwhile, he does lose cape here. Let's hope he knows Farce of Illusion 1 no cape strats, but he does go in here. He saves the time against Ludwig with the fire kill. Josh grabbing the 1-up in the Butter Bridge. Saw him wait a long time to shoot those fireballs. I forget who it was, I believe on Tuesday night. Shoot those fireballs off. I think it was Milliam, actually. And they just went off screen before they even hit Ludwig. There was an extra cycle in that fight because of that. It was a little unfortunate. But it did save 1 stomp at least. Feel free to just drop in whatever, Rezzy. Filling up all of the airtime with my own voice is... I can only go on for so long. We're gonna see Frantic go for Forest 1 without a cape. He's going for it. Does not acquire P-Speed, so he's making use of his fireballs. He's gonna take the shell and wreck everything. That's a good job. That's a good idea, actually. It's not as fast as gaining P-Speed. I don't know why I want to say acquire, but it makes the level easy. Running through these wigglers at P-Speed and trying to eat them is actually extremely dangerous. It's very easy to not get them. He doesn't get cape out of the roulette block. He jumped up for it too early. So there was a little bit of hesitation there while frantically decided what to do. He gets bopped by the wiggler, so the backup flower plays, kind of. He does not... Well, he doesn't have cape anyway, I guess. So I was about to be all upset he didn't grab a green shell to clear out those wigglers, and I remembered he can't fly. Josh is in room 2 of Ludwig. He doesn't have a cape. I must have lost it in room 1, because I'm pretty sure he flew all the way through Butterbridge 2. Apologies for missing that. Meanwhile, Frantic is going to go right back for that cape. That's the right move to make, because if you're just going to go back for it after the water level anyway, why not just do it now? He loses Yoshi as well, but Yoshi's right here, so it's not going to matter that much, except he's going to lose time to getting it. Frantic regains his cape in the fence room. Loses it again in the fence room. So one interesting thing here. Frantic actually could have gone back to Butterbridge 2. Everybody talks about the difference in time of walking back to Butterbridge 2 versus Forest 1. He now has the Midway Gate in Forest of Illusion 1, so if he loses cape again, the very easy choice is to just go straight back. He does not get clip on the first try, it looks like. He's going to go for hard clip again. JoshButro, Butro. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce anybody's name today. Did not get the semi-quick kill. Does manage to bop Ludwig over the course of 3 cycles. Frantic got his hard clip, I'm gonna guess on the second cycle, and does successfully grab the ice block, unlike some other runners yesterday. Primarily some guy named Mr. Cab. Screw that guy. What the hell was that train wreck of a run? I can say that because I'm him. Oh my! Frantic loses cape, failing to bop the Cheep Cheep at the end. I wasn't even thinking. He probably bopped an enemy earlier in that last section, which removes that one sprite that the game needs to place that Cheep Cheep, or to spawn that Cheep Cheep. I'm probably not getting the words for the sprites and everything exactly right. Forgive me on that one, but you know what I'm talking about. He just grabs cape. Like I said, he's at the Midway Gate, so it's very easy for him to get cape back. Josh looked like he was thinking about the mushroom, but opts to just keep going. Also uses the shell to wreck everything. So he is small, so any contact with a wiggler is pretty much going to be death. Looked like Frantic must have fallen down, because I did not see him come down to the ground. Josh, meanwhile, building up his P-speed on Yoshi, falling off Yoshi. He waits for the wiggler. Good. That's good. You never know who knows not to go near the wigglers and who doesn't. Josh is going here to the last section, is eating the wigglers, and is using that platform for P-speed. Not going to bother fighting that Hammer Brother. Here comes Royfly. We have Royfly and Clips at the same time. Looks a little low at first, but he's back up. Might be late. Oh my god. He pulled up very early. Bar so good, he flies all the way through the P-switch. Doesn't even lose P-speed. My god. My goodness. Josh does not even attempt hard clip. Goes straight for easy clip. So Frantic with fire for Roy, with the second cycle hard clip, he will, and already with a Butterbridge 1 worth of lead. He has a sizable lead at this point. And Josh going up the right side there, not knowing he can use the up button. Oh, now he's using the up button. That's interesting that he knew to use up, but not to use down. He skips that fire flower. He's going straight for this. I think from that second attempt, I don't know if he knew he could hold up or not, but Yoshi was high enough. Second try easy clip, a common enough occurrence. And he's getting... So he's going with, if you can't do the down swim, or if you just don't know to do it, it's always a good idea to come out and give yourself a little extra headroom to jump off of Yoshi. He also kills a Cheep Cheep, and that will lead this last Cheep Cheep to appear. It's a good idea to just completely avoid those early Cheep Cheeps to prevent that last one from spawning. It makes it much easier to get to the end of the level. You don't have to worry about being at the proper height to cape kill. Frantic not going for Cannon Fly, it only saves 1 second anyway, and it's kind of sort of an advanced strat. I still don't do it myself. Not worth the risk. He does not get a backup cape either from the spring. Meanwhile, Josh will be flying over Forest 3. The Fire Flower for the Forest is kind of a minimal time game. I usually do get it myself, but having fire for Roy's is not that big a deal. That said, you know, like I said, I always go for it anyway. Whoa! Frantic, getting cape canceled down immediately to the left of that pit. It was dangerous. Frantic going for the boo bounce with a couple of bumps. I do that, it usually works out, except for last night. God damn it. I'm not salty at all. Josh flies way too far before attempting the dive. I did not count the bumps on that one. So he's gonna go back for another shot at Roy's. He's going all the way to Butterbridge too. Frantic skipping the chocolate Yoshi. It's okay, Reggie. Josh is going to make sure he doubles up on that cape, assuming the jump button lets him do it. 273 into the second pipe for Frantic. Josh is going to go for his second attempt at Roy Fly, while Frantic is on his way to Chocolate Secret. One of the harder and longer levels of the run. Of course, Roy is the crux of the entire run. Ooh, pulled up just a little too early. Timing was pretty close to being good. Frantic nailing P-Speed in this first room of Chocolate Secret. Josh using that backup cape. He's going to go for it again. Makes it over the pot of the third time is the charm. Little low in the spike room, but he gets up in time. That little extra jump out of panic to stop the fly. Oh, what are you doing, Josh? Please, despawning 2 yellow platforms in the last room and managing to somehow, holding the P-switch, do the little jump flies through it. Meanwhile, Frantic is caping over the last room of Chocolate Secret. Josh, I don't know how else to explain that fly. There was a lot of clenching over here. I might have peed a little. I didn't really, I just like that commentary. So Frantic's lead now consists of Chocolate 1, Chocolate Ghost, Chocolate 2, and Chocolate Secret. Put quite bluntly, there's going to need to be some mistakes from Frantic. Maybe some long trips back to Butterbridge 2 if he doesn't want to go for it without a cape, for Josh to have a chance at a comeback here. Room 1 of Wendy's manages to keep P-Speed. Got over here a little quickly. I don't think he's going to be able to do the cycle skip. He does just stop in the middle of the room. No need to go for strats at this point. Did not get enough of a takeoff meter to be able to fly all the way up to use the block to stop himself. So there was no chance at the cycle skip. I don't know if he goes for cycle skip normally. P-Speed in room 2 is looking good as Josh just flies right over Chocolate Island 1. Dodging that last wall of sparks and into the Wendy fight. One bop. Weaving through the puppets and the fireballs for 2 bops. And the third one right in the middle. That has to be my least favorite place for Wendy to ever spawn. Right between those 2 fireballs on cycle 3. Josh taking a little extra time to acquire P-Speed. We had Amarak issues here. Oh, we can hear it. Video appears to be a little screwy. I don't know if anybody's over there in his chat and can speak up about it. Josh, I'm going to just wait for that Boo laser, as Link Dad and Kakusho referred to it yesterday. Always remember, the last one can kill Mario. Even the last Boo. Alright, Amarak makes a nice recovery as we enter the ghost ship. Backup cape acquired for Frantic. That, if anything, was probably one of the best places for a video mishap to happen, right during a castle cutscene. You only have 5 of them, I think. And that was the 5th one. Frantic does know to just hold down to swim pretty much level with the screen. Goes right through a spawning Boo, runs right up to a ghost and stops and tries to go for Scrollful and doesn't quite get it. Scrollless. Looks like he wants to try and swim between this ring, but thinks better of it. The good thing about the scroll there is by holding up to swim up fast enough, that second ring aligns to you. Josh, not floating all the way over to start the level, having some P-speed with cape issues there, loses cape while trying to deal with the Chuck. These Chucks have to be some of my least favorite enemies. Getting the stomp, a good bounce from that football. Footballs, as we all know, bounce oddly, does not get midway. Missed the gate. So he's got to make sure he gets through the rest of this level. He's still invincible, so that's a safety star from Frantic, and Orb. I don't remember when people said orb. I never really got into that myself. But there it is. Josh planning his way through here, using the spin jump strats. Spiked ups can be very annoying. Frantic acquiring P-speed. Let's watch this Bob 1. That was a late fly. Let's hope he does not zip. Just runs right back to the left. Josh gaining a Fire Flower has way too many football players on the screen. Whoa, what was that? Frantic, please, with the cape cancels. Frantic having a cape and its backup, not even grabbing the block. No need to unless he needed a life, which he does not. Josh clearing Chocolate Secret, no problems. Just that one hit early. And he's going to charge ahead into Wendy's. I always love it when somebody charges ahead without a cape because, as we all know, fortune favors the bold. Frantic's fly through Bob 2. Coming to a... He gets over a couple of the gaps, honestly. Flying through that room is tricky. I'm not very good at it yet myself. Frantic spin flying into the maze. So let's keep an eye out for that sandbar skip. Josh is going to spin bar up on the grinder and makes it. Easy peasy. Whew. Frantic with the cycle skip. Good job. Josh working his way through room 2 of Wendy's now. A little too slow even to get past this first block. That would have been, I think it might have been possible, but it was so risky of a jump. No real reason to risk a power up for it. He would have still had his backup mushroom, but not really worth the risk. And this second cycle is definitely not going to happen. When in doubt, though, taking Wendy's a little slow, never a terrible idea. This room claims many, many runs and many races. There's no real reason to risk it. I don't think he knew he could have just ran through that section there. So he loses his flower to the giant hot spark. And one bop of Wendy. Frantic knows the L-Scroll strat. does it to get through. Well, he loses fly, so he just stops in the middle. Both players with a 3-cycle Wendy. Excellent. Frantic weaving through that first set of crushers. Doesn't even think about that backup cape, although I wonder if he's hoping it's still there on the screen when he goes back. It is not. One unfortunate thing about a backup power-up in this level, it tends to never reach you if it's a cape. So the final section, he knows to go early. Many new players have trouble timing these spikes. They're probably the hardest thing to learn in the Valley of Bowser, at least at a casual level. Whew. Frantic, please, jumping through the fireball before his hitbox spawns. That's Frantic with a pair of questionable Reznors, but he's through. He has not died to a Reznor. Josh entering the ghost ship. Frantic32 entering the dark room. Josh still without the knowledge of the down button while swimming, it seems. Not knowing about down makes this room significantly harder. Those boos always appear in the same alternating patterns. There's only 2 patterns, and they always start horizontally centered on you. No scrolls there. No despawns for Josh. But he does scroll at the very end to at least spawn this second ring a little faster. Right. Does Frantic know the capeless ball skip? And is he gonna go for it? Looks like he's killing one Mecha Koopa, so he better be ball skipping. And he just hits Bowser with that throw. My goodness. Josh losing cape to the spiked balls. Orb! One of those nice mid-tier races where there's a lot of butt clenching. Not a lot is going horribly wrong for either racer. One's, quite honestly, just a little better than the other. But we have 2 solid times coming in, 2 solid runs. And that's always great to see. Frantic cutting the bowling ball a little close. I think he hit Bowser a little early. We'll see. Bowser's flying around an awfully long time. I think we're going to see a second bowling ball. There it is. Josh going for the top route through Vob 1, not having a cape. Will he go for midway? He will. Have to wait for that mole now. That's the only problem. You do have to get the Mecha Koopa for ball skip over Bowser's head. I don't believe you can do it by just throwing it from the ground. Is Josh damage boost? Josh is damage boosting. Good job. I believe the proper thing to do, there are lots of strats through that level. The P-Speed spin jump over level 3 in that last section is the really good small strat. Having a damage boost there while you're big is not a terrible idea, but I would argue you should have damage boosted over the munchers, and Frantic is done at 37:45. SDA timing wraps up at 37:47. And RaceBot has him at 37:50. So a good run, a very solid run from Frantic, cutting the 38. Always a good race time to start cutting 38. Frantic will move on to play Oglib, winner of a race just last night, over Blind Runner, Mediocrity or Bust. If you didn't watch that race last night, you should go back and watch. Since all skill levels welcome in the tournament. Apologies, had to handle a phone call. Josh, meanwhile, he is not going to give up. He's going to finish this run. This is looking, I'm going to say a 45. Yes, Frantic will play Oglib in round 3 of the losers bracket. That will take place sometime over the course of the next week. Sadly, this will be all for JoshButro. I'm going to keep guessing and going back and forth. But solid runs. If he had a 50, I do not know what his PB is, and he is listed as a 77 seed. Off the top of my head, I do not know how far down the seeds went before we got players who did not have PBs posted at all yet. But I believe he said earlier he's only been playing the game for about a week or so. At least that was his claim. And knowing that, a 45 is a damn respectable time. For anybody new to the game, cutting 50, I would say, is a great starting point. So, we're not going for any kind of cycle skip, but we're keeping cape. Jumping a little too high. My guess is he gained flight. Very easy to gain flight sometimes when you really don't want to. One thing I would say for those situations, do a duck if you're not quite sure of what to do or how to get rid of your P-speed. Very hard. Yeah, duck flying is a frame-perfect trick in this game. So when in doubt, duck and kill your P-speed until you're ready for the advanced strats. Alright, we're going to bring in some sound from Josh.
Like, I've been cheering Yuna on quite a bit. She has learned this game rather quickly.
We don't really have a game sound at all here. And we're all cheering Yuna on. Who are we kidding? Yuna, I believe, was the first person to bop Josh in the tournament.
Ooh, you almost trolled me with that fireball.
Solid Reznor kill. Reznor never had a chance
Friday
there.
Comes out of lurking, waves at me.
Looked a little
Hi, Friday.
Rough, but it was there.
Alright.
Keep telling Yuna she's good at this
I'm going to take this
game.
serious for a minute, you guys. If you guys don't mind me.
We don't mind you, Josh.
I might actually be serious here for a minute.
I think the PB attempt is real. He hits the block, but he gets the spin fly. Trying to cape kill the Mecha Koopa, finding it ineffective, smartly goes back for the stomp. And he does get midway. We're in the Bowser door at 42-12.
Bowser fight's not too bad for me. We're going to see where this goes, because right now this looks like about a 44-15. Which is going to be about a 2-minute cut on my PB, so if I PB and I still lost to Frantic, that's all I can ask for.
Any more races today? Question from the chat. So this was our 5 p.m. race.
What's up, Sawmill?
We will have no more races for a little while. Go out, enjoy the rest of your day, get a meal. You have 2 hours until 8 p.m. when the Green Death Flavor, your AGDQ 2015 any percent race champion, will be racing Zero Maverick.
Thanks for the follow, Sawmill. That's actually 200.
That will be immediately followed by what I think will actually be a pretty hype match. Conster against Trank. Trank needed a little de-rusting in that first round. He might be ready to go. Conster has been working on the game. He's getting a little better.
I mean, seriously,
I personally would be guessing on Trank to win that, but we've got to have a little faith in Conster. Conster, make that a great race.
37.50.
And at 10 p.m., we will have a very interesting matchup. A very high seed in the tournament, Reaper Goblin. I've seen him put up 33s in races before.
Oh,
we'll be going up against
close.
Croclaw!
Yeah, 200 hype back.
Croclaw put up an excellent time in his first race.
200,
Reaper
yeah,
Goblin
200
seemed to be cracking a little bit under the pressure there. So this one could be interesting. Reaper Goblin, of course, is still the huge favorite, despite anything that might have happened in the first race. Everybody has problems in their first race.
To see what I need to play.
The tournament pressure is real. So good luck to all 6 runners going
you can
tonight.
Have your mushroom back, Peach. I don't need it.
Even if 2 of them are single-digit seeds in play this early in the tournament, that's got to be against the 33 seed at the worst. Josh, ill-advised going underneath Bowser.
Stop.
The stomp phase of Bowser here is a little difficult for everybody. Early on, especially, trying to make sure you don't get him. And then we have a 44.33 on his stream. RaceBot has him at 44.38. So a good show by Josh. That he's cutting 45, just like I was guessing around the ghost ship. So that's excellent. I'll
take it.
In his stream, we're finding out if this is truly a PB.
I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining. That's about 2 minutes cut right there.
Yeah, his previous PB, according to people in his
46.26
chat, was a 46.26. So that's not quite a 2-minute PB.
I ran a PB
that's
against Frantic,
excellent.
So
anytime you cut 2 minutes off your PB, it's a good job.
Better. That is Cab. My PB, like right before the race with Yuna, was 46.26.
So there you go.
So 44 is a PB. Thanks, guys.
So congratulations to Josh on the PB.
Cut 2 minutes off.
Solid run. Shows drastic improvement.
Now.
Showed confidence in what he was doing, even if it wasn't that 37 we saw at a Frantic. We love to see good runs in this tournament. We love to see PBs. Improvement is the reason to play. So let's see
you posted
what's
that in the
going
SRL
on.
channel too.
We're gonna go over to Kakusho for a little while.
Comment.
I've got some dinner to deal with, some house chores to deal with. I don't know who will be streaming later this evening, but right now Kakusho is derusting, and if you were watching that first race,
just riding Yoshi,
Kakusho needs some derusting. So let's go over there. Let's give him the same thing we've given everyone else for a raid message so far in this tournament.
7 more runs of cutting 2 minutes off. Yeah, I've seen some of those 33XX runs. I'm not quite at that level yet.
And thank you, the viewers, for showing up and watching the races, supporting the Super Mario World community. As always, it is excellent. Keep your eyes out for other SRL tournaments that are ongoing. The Final Fantasy IV Race to the Paladin, the City of Madness, is ongoing. It's a great tournament. Let's try and catch a match if you can. Mystery Tournament, I don't know the number. It doesn't matter. The Mystery Tournament next is accepting submissions right now. The Mystery Tournament is always lots of fun, so check in on that. There's a Twitter account for it. I believe it's like SRL Mystery. We can tweet that out later. But enjoy the rest of your evening, and remember, don't lose Cape.